Jason, and I want to tell you a little bit about this man's best friend. Okay, I see this not as a life taker. I see it, and I've always seen it as a life saver. That's what it is. I mean, yes, it can be used to kill and all that, but it can also be used on the flip side of all of that negative for positive, and then some. Positive always wins out over negative anyway, but that's what it is. And it's something, the beauty in this are so much more than a gun, so much more than a gun, okay? Because, you know, I'm not saying guns are no good, obviously not, but my opinion versus the knife, give me the knife. You can do so much with a knife, you know. You can be dropped out in the woods and you can either pick a knife, you know, a good survival knife. It's the only one tool you got, or you can pick a gun. You know, I'm picking the knife every time because utility is going to come first before combat usually and fighting. So you're going to use it for stuff like sharpening stakes or cutting branches down, you know, so it you know, it's got that utilitarian advantage to it, and it also has a life-saving defense to it. Okay, but what I like about it over the gun and any kind of projectile weapon really is I feel that what's causing the projectile is not an extension of you. It is the thing, and it's doing the work for you, and you know, they have their place, but I can give a fuck. I'm into knives. I've always been into knives, especially Bowie knives. The most misunderstood blade nowadays than I can think of. Most underestimated. Hardly anyone knows it or has any interest in it. But think of, you know, the other possibilities, you know. This could literally kill a bear. You know, one bullet from one pistol or even a rifle, depending if you don't get an exact spot, it's not going to kill the bear. We all know this. It's going to piss it off. Or any other thing. I'm just using the bear as an example. But take, for instance, the movie, DiCaprio, The Revenant, right? Where he got mauled by that fucking massive grizzly bear like twice, and then after he shot it the second time and it pissed off and came to really kill him for doing that, he had his Bowie attached here. It wasn't this like a huge thing, but he had a Bowie and he pulled it out, and as the bear couple, and that's it. It killed the bear. That's a true story. Check it out, Howard Glass. All right. You know, I'm saying this stuff, we're assuming everyone is, you know, taking what I'm saying and adding, you know, okay, reason to it. You know, I'm not saying, oh, get the big bear bow, you can go out and fight bears, you know, like, no. I'm illuminating that fact because I'm trying to illuminate, again, the extreme capacity that a simple tool, a simple blade, knife can achieve. Not to mention the fact that they've, you know, been on the battlefield before Christ, literally, and they're still on the battlefield today. It's never going to run out of ammunition, and it is always going to work the way you use it. If you use it now, if you just get a knife and think like, oh, I got a knife, you're walking around with my knife, I got scared by a knife, and, you know, yeah, but that's, you know, what are you, 12? You know, I like so much, other than the fact of it's beautiful, sexy, and great, and makes me happy inside when I look at a nice Bowie. But you have to work to master it. You have to put in time. You have to put in effort. You have to endure You don't have to endure this one about being out in front of people, where people are and they see you, you know, working with a knife, and you got. And I remember when I first started doing knife outside, I felt it a little awkward, but then again, it wore off in about 10 minutes on me because I roll everything right back to white belt to black belt, A squirrel, and I remember as a white belt having a teacher in the middle of class, and they said, all right, everybody go outside to the front of the sidewalk. I was horrified. I was 20 years old, white belt, in the area, like not even 2 miles from where I graduated. All the people I graduated and people I knew were hanging out. It was the main ab where that school was at, Ninja University Infinite School of Martial Arts, where I got my birth. And we had to go out there, and you know, I didn't question it, but I went out, and there I was in my uniform, my white belt, my bare feet that I wasn't used to, doing stuff on the sidewalk in front of all, you know, cars, everything. I was thinking, I wanted to quit that night, that day. I remember, you know, that weakness in me rising, but it got squashed. And then years down, as time went on, I instructed everything. I see the value, unprecedented value of putting that kind of pressure, or putting a student or putting yourself in that kind of a pressure cooked environment, or a, you know, highly anxiety inducing environment, that where it's not physical though. The anxiety is in your head. You're creating it. It's not there. It's because you're still fucking worried about what everybody thinks. Oh my God, what everybody thinks. I wonder what they think. First of all, they're not even probably thinking at all about you. And if they are, who gives a fuck? As long as they stay out of your way and keep their stupid mouths shut and don't get disrespectful, they won't have to get smacked into the middle of next week. Anyway, so I got acclimated, and you know, I got really comfortable being uncomfortable, you know, in front of people. And then that shit, and then instructing as an underbelt, and all that, people walking by the windows looking, you know, dealing with the asshole every now and then. I'm going to do a quick, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to quick thing. I'm going to get back to the fucking point about how it forces you to not only physical, but it forces you to deal with the awkwardness of people watching you. You got to burn that off. You can't have any of that on you. I don't care whether you're doing knife fighting, whether you're doing empty hand, you know, any kind of martial thing. You have got to destroy that weak fucking, can't even find a word for it, thing that exists in everyone's mind, but some people kill it, other people feed it, and other people just, hey, whatever, go with the tide. You know, I have no say in my life. You know, you don't want to be one of them. You have to burn it off, burn that uncomfortable, get used to it, like it. Yeah, fuck, I'll do it. You know, you're not going to turn to dust. So that all helps with, if you ever have to use your shit or fight for real, or if you something escalates into a fight, you're not going to be shitting bricks and a terrified fucking panic fear victim, because you know you got the pressure of everyone looking at you, this guy yelling at you, you know, all these, your girlfriend seeing how you're going to respond, or wife, or whatever, and you got all these minds, too many minds, and all the energy is going wasted because you're spending it on motherfucking fuckers and things that don't deserve it, and you're taking it from you, making you weaker for your target to destroy. Thus endeth sermon. Back to the knife. Okay, so it makes you work for it. So you can make a trainer, like I have for this. Pretty close. Now I've got to create my guard there. So you don't scare the fucking people too much. Alright? Because you do have to be a little mindful of that. But you also don't want to water it down so much you're sacrificing the integrity of your training to appease fucking public opinion. As long as you're not hurting anyone, disrupting anything, breaking any laws, threatening anyone or anything. You know, it's your right to fucking do what you want. Okay, so about the knife. Being that it's, again, go back, it's a lifesaver, not a life taker. Alright. I can explain that. What I like about it is because if you're a good knife fighter, you know, you're good, whether it's you know, a smaller blade or any kind of blade, or you specialize in one type of blade, whatever. If you're a knife man, a knife fighter, and you're good, right, and you're confident in yourself, and people know that you can use a knife and you're good with it, and always have one ready, practice your draw from different positions, you know, whether it's, you know, in reverse, cross, here in the center, and you practice it. Like I've practiced in, I don't know how many times, all different sorts of clothing, and how, you know, techniques in getting it out of the way and getting it out. It makes you work, but at the end you have something that it needs no maintenance, you know, I mean, other than the blade, but, you know, sharpening it and keeping it clean and dry, it's always going to be there, and it's always going to defend you and protect you with the same level. And it's not as kind of, you know, like guns, it's just not for me. Yeah, I like bow and arrows, compounds, because it creates a certain invisible barrier between you and the world, okay? And correct me if I'm wrong, you kind of own your destiny. You're in control of your destiny when you have a knife, because if you're good enough, if people know, and you have it, they can't touch you. They can't come in and physically manhandle you and push you and move you around. Maybe you can get manipulated in other ways if you let them, but this ensures, no, you're not taking my dignity, you're not taking my integrity or my honor. You know, I'll go down fighting, but I'm not being moved around by a pawn. I'm not going to be intimidated, pushed around by anyone or anything. And you have that knife. That's what this says. You know, that's the space as far as it is. Okay, yeah, they could have all that. This is your inner domain. They can't get in there unless they want to deal with this, fight with this. Most people don't. You know, yes, they can terminate you from the range and kill you and shoot you, but then, you know, it still doesn't disprove my point, where they have to resort, they have to go to different means to get you. So just simply by having the knife with you all times, and training and everything, from the, like I said, the different draws to the different cuts, you know, different combinations, you know, you get very proficient with all different knives. And of course, don't just have one is none, two is one, and you have a combination of them. So the last thing that almost hardly anyone ever thinks of, and I've got a few clippings of newspapers to prove that it does happen, people are so removed from their survival instincts and from the reality of life in this new easy golden age of super technology, super ease and all that. This is getting long, isn't it? You forget that beast protect you from man or beast, okay? I gotta find the clipping of a 61 or 2-year-old man in Jersey who heard something. His dog was barking. He went out in the backyard. He saw something moving. It was like a 6-foot black bear, and the bear jumped up on him, attacked him. The guy was able to stand up with it, and he said, and they showed it in the picture, he went into his pocket and he pulled out one of those peanut folders, not even like a auto assist or nothing, just wow, he's got the bear claw in the show. He's like, all claw marks everywhere. Opened that folder, and he said he stabbed it in it a couple times. Well, the bear stopped, got off of him. He said, limped over like behind a tree, and this guy was all fucked up and scratched and shit. So he goes in the house, and then the bear died there. He came over there. So you see, you know, it's guaranteed. You know, it's I hate the way that sounds kind of, but it's death at your hand, an extension. You know, come with me, if you will, with your imagination. Now your hand, so it's a beautiful thing, it really is. Life taker, no. Lifesaver, yes. But you must train with it. You can't just buy a knife and walk around, be an asshole. And this is your only move for an untrained person. You know, Michael, you know, Friday 13, Michael Myers, oh, I'm gonna kill you. Every untrained person, criminals, everyone like, does this overhand stroke, the amateur stroke of death against a real knife fighter, because you would never leave your guard open like that. So the target can go like that, right to the throat. The hand comes up, someone's like, oh, you know, you're just like, you beat him to it, so you leave it open. So there's an art to it. Okay. So here's a little generic opening. A knife and a tomahawk. Nice combination here, man. I'll tell you, these fucking two. Really nice. All right, I gotta go eat lunch. And oh, real quick, I just want to tell you, 3 grips, main grips you're gonna have. The hammer grip. It's just like you're holding a hammer. The saber, sorry, where your thumb is on the blade, behind, on here, or like this pinch grip, rocking type of thing. This is what I like most of the time, because it gives me more speed and it's more lively and fast in my hand. Rock it, and then when I have to, I just automatically clamp down hard on it. So you got your 3 grips, hammer, pinch rocking one, and saber. Actually, there's another one. It's called foil, I believe. Or from fencing, and it's the blade is on the flat. Hold it on the flat like that. That's foil. Foil, regular, and I might as well leave you just with the basic stance. Okay, Bowie stance, your back straight, like you're sitting on a bike. Okay, you're gonna ride a bike.
I am determined to define my life, even if it means I must terminate it. I am determined to finally do something that inspires me, even if the result of this pursuit forces me to realize my physiological limits. For the first time, I feel the power and potential of my life, and I know that to master it, I must destroy it. My last moment will be my finest.
I'm leaving this town behind me. I'm leaving this life behind me too. All the time, all the little lives. All the time, all the little strives. All the time, all the no time to rest. Spend a life feeling under arrest. From the bed to the job, to the bar, to the couch, to the bed, to the car.